All right, welcome back, everyone. We have the new track on our tropical storm, Isaias, and this is continuing to move along the coastline of South Florida the next 24 hours. Very slow mover, and the forecast track just hugs the coast of northern Palm Beach County and then eventually the Treasure Coast during the afternoon and evening hours. The center of circulation is just off the coast of South County. There's just a very strange, what we call a meso low that has formed. It actually formed last night, late afternoon, early evening, that's spinning up north of Grand Bahama, roughly the northern edge of the Bahama Bank, with just tremendous amounts of lightning. I mean, if you were in this area, or some people actually do live up in this area around Grand and the Walkers area, this is quite a lightning show going on here. But yet, at the center of this tropical storm, there's hardly anything going on at all. I mean, really, really incredible. I can't say in about 2.5, 3 decades that I've seen quite a weather situation like this, where so much of the active weather is displaced from the center of this. There's a look at it right there, just hundreds of lightning strikes, and more than likely quite a lightning show. If it was dark right now, of course the sun is up, but if it was dark, the coastline, this would be an unbelievable lightning show going on about 60 to 70 miles away off our coastline. There's the wider view. So what's happening here? Well, the center of the low would be roughly off Boca and Del Rey, and then we have this other little upper low or mid-level low that's spinning around that. And I'm watching this closely because I don't want this to make it back toward the coastline. So as long as it stays in the northeast quadrant of this, which it has since about 6 p.m. yesterday, we're fine. It'll keep off the coastline. But this entire weather system pushes closer to northern Palm Beach County and then tracks right along the Treasure Coast in the next 12 hours. Here's the new forecast track. So moving north-northwest at 8 miles an hour. That's a little bit of a change. Winds at 65 miles an hour, the pressure at 995, and that track is offshore enough that the hurricane warnings have been discontinued. We have the tropical storm warnings, but the hurricane warnings are now gone. There's 8 p.m. tonight, so north of Vero Beach, still some gusty winds here, but the worst weather is well offshore and will stay well offshore through the day. So the probability of tropical storm force winds has really even dropped, and I think our only risk of getting strong winds here would be in some of the bands if they actually work back toward the coastline, and that's not even guaranteed at this point. I mean, there just hasn't been much at all in the last few hours as far as those big feeder bands. I mean, some of the strongest winds that we've experienced in the last 24 hours were yesterday afternoon. And as all this system is so disorganized that it is going to have to really flip to get any kind of real impressive weather here. I just don't think that's going to happen. We've just lost, we run out of room for this to develop and strengthen at all, at least through our area. So the tropical storm warning showing up in blue includes the entire viewing area at this point. This was a hurricane warning earlier today. And the radar, we'll go back here, shows that the strongest storms are over the Bahamas and moving north of Grand Bahama, but there's this trailing edge of heavy rain that'll likely cause some issues around Grand Bahama and Freeport and Lucaya during the afternoon and evening, because that's going to sit in this area for an extended period of time. So, several inches of rain guaranteed, likely more than that. For us, we just get these wraparound showers, these gusty winds that push in along the coastline. And I know that I've been here with Katya for the last few hours watching this, and she's watching the storm reports for us. And I mean, we've had some impressive numbers, but in the last hour or two, it's really started to settle down, hasn't it?
Yeah, not a whole lot of reports in the last hour or so. In fact, I'll show you that in the next minute or so. But over the last 24 hours, we have seen some tropical storm force winds here and there, mainly across our coastal communities. Those are winds over 39 miles per hour. And with some of those rain bands working its way through, we get that big gust of air. This is the only report we've had in the last hour of tropical storm winds. It's in Vero Beach, and those winds up to 39 miles per hour. So that's the only one. Other than that, we are seeing those winds around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Some folks are seeing some higher winds here and there, and some of you just feeling a light breeze from time to time. Let's step out the door, take a look outside at Boca. We've got some clouds overhead. So most of you are seeing kind of gloomy, cloudy conditions. Maybe you'll see some passing showers from time to time. So if you live across the Palm Beaches, upper 80s for today, on and off rainfall, scattered rain bands moving in from time to time. As we head into this evening, we're going to start to see some of those winds die down. Still breezy at times, but for the most part, it does look like those winds will pretty much be focused along the Treasure Coast by that point. And then overnight tonight, we'll start to dry out. We'll start to see those winds die down. Let's head to Vero Beach. Temperatures there in the low 80s, winds in the northeast at 17 miles per hour. We still have those clouds overhead as well. So throughout the day for you, upper 80s, scattered rain bands, potential for some quick downpours moving on in, and maybe a few isolated tornadoes. We're going to keep our eyes on the radar for you and keep you in the loop on that. Windy conditions, and then overnight tonight, we'll start to see things taper off as well.